My mouse does not like the table and won't move.
All right, you're on live.
I'm live? Great, lovely. Hi, I'm Audrey Moran with Audrey's Book Corner. Tonight we have the author of The Christmas Dollar Miracle, Ruth E. Day. Hi, Ruth, and we have Lisa Frederickson with us as well. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Audrey.
So, Ruth, what inspired you to write The Christmas Dollar Miracle?
Well, it went back to a kind of a conversation I saw online on a forum between two people who were complaining about their nieces and nephews and how they didn't appreciate the presents that they gave them, for how disgusted they were with them. And I thought that the kids really need a story for children to help them appreciate what goes into the gifts that they receive. And so I conceived the idea of this story about this little boy who is one of those children that doesn't appreciate what he gets, and then he goes on to learn just what goes into make those things happen. And I wrote it, put it aside. I got back to it years later.
So how long has Myron been sitting in the back of your mind?
Oh, wow, a long time. I don't know the exact year that I wrote the very first rough draft, but my middle son, I think, was around 14 when I gave it to him to read. And then he is now, gosh, what is he? About 32. So it's been
around my kids' age then.
Yeah. So yeah, it took a while. I set it aside, and then once independent publishing or self-publishing became a thing online, then I started looking at it again and thinking, hey, maybe this is something that I could do, but it needed a lot. Like I said, it was just a draft from that at that time.
So it went through a lot of revisions, and
Yeah, it did. In fact, what's online now as the Christmas Dollar Miracle is the third edition that I actually published online. The first time I did it, I would say it was a little better than a rough draft, and then the second time I worked on it even more, and it was smoother, and I started getting some feedback from people because I give it as a Christmas gift, and in fact I created my own books where I actually bound them myself and gave them out. Yeah, so that was better, but it didn't really mature into a finished book until basically Lisa got a hold of it and helped me. It helped me really kind of solidify the story and bring it together. And then I got help from beta readers and used some of their ideas. Was able to bounce things back and forth with them, and that made a big difference. So that I finally felt, on this final draft before, you got it and were able to do the line editing, that it was done. It was ready.
Right.
So
yeah,
those are the incarnations.
Right. I know. I thoroughly loved it. I did.
Thank you.
In fact, I put a
and I cried at the end.
You cried.
Yeah, it does. It really evokes some strong emotions as you go through the book. It's a fun story. I mean, I know I'm prejudiced because we published it with Ruth, and I kind of have followed her along the journey. but I like the book well beyond before that, and it's been a lot of fun putting it together with everybody on the project.
Yeah,
it really has been a collaboration.
Yeah,
I know that in the journey Lisa and I have been on doing these things, it's been interesting to me to find out what all actually goes into writing and editing and publishing a book.
mm-hmm.
It's not as simple as it looks or sounds, and
right,
speed bumps a lot along the way.
There really is. When I went back to it, when I thought I could publish it myself, I had this idea. Well, I'll just create this really good book. I know the story's good. I just need to present it well, and I'll put it out there, and people will like it, and they'll tell their friends, and it'll become really popular, and it'll make all this money.
And you buy an island.
That's not how I discovered that that's really a fantasy, but it's not that it can't be successful. But it's just that's not how it works.
Right.
So
yeah, it's not.
No, it's a word, and I was surprised, especially when Lisa started her on her Facebook group for marketing your book, how much you really have to do to market it, and you as an author really have to be involved. And if one of the things that really surprised me was that even traditional publishers expect the author to do a lot of their marketing and pre-marketing and actually have some kind of a following.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? I can't just write and here I'll hand this manuscript over to you and you do all the rest?
Right.
No.
Because that's what you think. That's what you think traditionally has been done.
Yeah, well, that's what every movie shows. You know, the typewriter going, and the guy pulls out the manuscript and gives it to his agent, and the agent comes back, and he's then escorted in his limo, and everything happens.
Yeah.
You just need a bigger publishing company, Ruth.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up in my Toyota.
That'd make a great video. I could do that. This is how it really is.
Yeah.
But it's fun to be the first book that's Focus 7, because I think you have a lot of neat books coming down the line for it. And
we do, and we are starting to accumulate a lot of good authors. And as I learn more about the industry, we're doing more and more. But the Focus 7 publishing is going to have the advantage of having that marketing background, and that will make a difference in everybody that we put out there. But I was really proud to have it be my first book for the company. So it's such a good topic, and it represents everything that Focus 7 wants to become, which is clean literature and uplifting literature, and even having some elements of Christianity in it. So it's just a great book to start everything out that we stand for. So it's going to be wonderful.
Good. Yeah, and like I said, we have a year to work on the marketing.
Well, that's because we're going to go get you awards and things like that, and then we'll have stickers all over the book.
Oh yeah. One of the books that I have read, and right off the title escapes me at the moment. Don't ask why, because I don't know. But one of the things it mentions is that when he was writing the book that the story is set in, said that I took it to a mainstream publisher, and they said, "Well, do you have a following? Do you know how to do this? And do you know how to do this? And do you know how to do?" And he was like, "Well, I had no idea that I had to do all that to get to have a book published. Not a clue.
No.
No, I didn't either. No, it's just
Well, and
it's like,
frankly, yeah, I just finished a course on how, traditional publishing, you approach a traditional publisher and all the different steps and things that go into them determining how to take your book in. And that was really complicated. I didn't realize it was all that quite of a complicated process for getting a traditional publisher. So,
I kept hearing, well, why should you write a book, and why, who's going to publish it? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm sure I can manage it, and so glad I didn't try that route. Not very hard, unfortunately. I just need someone to whip me into shape.
So, Ruth, what's your next book? That's what I want to know.
I do too.
well, that's a good question. The piece that I have done the most work on is that princess story, and that's the working title because that's what we call it in my house, princess story.
That intrigued me, by the way.
But it's still in relatively rough draft form, and I have to working out the story arc and the character arcs. But that's a fantasy comedy, which I mean, there definitely are some of those out there, but there aren't nearly as many fantasy comedies as there are just straight fantasies or epic fantasies. So
So
every once in a while, I'll pop into one.
Have you seen that one that was about? It's basically a crime fiction comedy. It's about the little lady she has a cane and she's the investigator. I mean, it's sarcastic and comedic. The guy wrote it as a joke, he's a self-published author, and he wrote it just to kind of jump out of his own books and just play for a few minutes. And he's ended up writing this whole kind of cozy mystery crime fiction series about this grandmother, and she's got her camera on the end of her cane. And
oh my gosh, that sounds hysterical.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so look into that. It sounds fun.
So what's the next question, Audrey?
The next question is, why won't my mouse work right? I swear I'm going to wring its neck.
That was not the question I was looking for.
I know. Oh, books that you're reading. What books are you reading?
What book? What am I reading? I'm not currently reading anything. Well, I got stuck in the middle of War and Peace. So it started out great. I was like, wow, I should have read this a long time ago. And he kind of slowed down towards the middle, and now I don't know what Tolstoy is doing. He seems to be indulging himself as a writer and just writing about things because he wants to, rather than because they lead up to something, as far as I can tell. So I kind of set him aside for a while. And I know there's good stuff coming. I just have to get through this middle part that I guess I'm fairly a fairly harsh critic, because I'll look at a Jane Austen or a Charlotte Bronte and go, well, I wouldn't have done it that way. I don't think that's quite right there. Instead of going, wow, this is so great. This whole thing's so wonderful. So even nobody escapes my eye for criticism.
Does writing make you a better reader?
Make me a better reader?
Yeah, when you look at a book to read, does it make you change the way you look at things, maybe?
Or does reading lots of books make you a better writer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think reading a lot makes you a better writer. You're just exposed to more styles, the vocabulary, plots, ways of doing things. When I'm reading, if I run across something that I like, I'll study it out a little more and say, why did I like that? Why do I like this character? What makes them likable? Or what I'm really on the edge of my seat when I'm reading this scene. Why? And so I try to learn from those things and incorporate them when I can. You don't always remember that when you're sitting there typing away.
Yeah.
You're doing good if you can remember your own name sometimes. I know I am.
So, Ruth, how can we find your book?
Oh, okay. So my book is on Amazon, and just look it up under, and I've done this myself, so I know it's possible. The Christmas Dollar Miracle. It'll pop up right there.
It will. I've done it. I look forward to.
And I don't know when the hard copies will be available, but there are people who have expressed an interest in having an actual hard copy that they can.
Yeah,
have on
the
their
hard
shelf.
copy should be available beginning of next week. So we just wanted to get the author proof so that we could make sure that it was all lined up and perfect, and then we're gonna be able to make that available really soon here. So anyway,
so hopefully that will be part of people's Christmas traditions. Some people have told me.
I commented it should be.
And we look forward to more from Ruth. She's an excellent author. So how, Audrey, what's your next book that you're going to be reviewing? We'll be probably doing this weekly.
Good question.
You're going to do the We Carry Gold?
I probably will, actually.
That'll be published next week. So.
Yes, that would be.
And that's your second book for Focus 7, right?
Yeah, that's by Carleen Singleton, and it's actually a revision also, but we did a lot of work on making it really look perfect. You know, the new cover and the insides and the pictures are all redone. She has lots of pictures. She did foster care for children for many years and had babies that were incredibly handicapped, and all of the different things that she went through that were just incredible. Plus her journal's super uplifting story. So I look forward to this book getting out and being able to be advertised as well. And it's going to be a wonderful addition to our Focus 7 publishing company.
Carleen went through a lot to do what she did.
Yeah.
The time period that she was living through in Mississippi made what she did even more remarkable.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll wrap this up here pretty soon, and what we will try bring you back when we've got another book from you, Ruth, and to kind of check on maybe during Christmas as well to see where things are going for you. And I'm sure your readers are going to want to keep track of what you're doing. Audrey, what time are we going to be doing the next show? Are we going to do it the same time, same day, same time, same Bat Cave?
Same what?
I said same Bat Cave.
Yeah, probably so.
All right.
Me to remember if I know, then I can just go, okay, this is same Chris. No.
Well, we appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you, Audrey, for all the books you read and review. And we're gonna sign off here. Anything else you want to tell the audience?
Me or Ruth?
You, Audrey.
I am so happy to be doing my book reviews again and talking to authors like Ruth who enlighten us and liven up our lives with their wonderful work. And thank you for agreeing to do the show tonight.
All right. Night, people.